Hey, wild things! Ranger Bucky here with you today as we do another episode of Wildlife Watch, this time for the month of February 2023. Here's what's active right now. Have you noticed a particular stinky smell in the air? I certainly have. The striped skunk is waking up and exploring its territory. They're about to enter the breeding season, and believe it or not, the female is actually emitting a slightly different stink, but not to attract the male, to actually tell the male to stay away for a while. She's not ready to have a litter yet. She's got to find a good shelter, like a nice cozy den in a hollow log or maybe even under a patio, and then get lots of food to eat. Now, the male skunk will have up to 10 litters with different females, and this is done because, unfortunately, the skunk just doesn't live very long. You see, they have terrible vision. They can only see about 10 feet around them at any given point, so that makes them vulnerable to things like being hit by a car or being eaten by a great horned owl. So it's rather advantageous for them to have as many babies as possible to ensure the survival of the species. Lots of other critters do this as well, like rabbits, squirrels, or even chipmunks, and mice! Now, I know skunks smell really bad, but they're also a part of nature's cleanup crew. They get rid of wasps and their nests, along with rotten fruit, and sometimes they'll even devour a mouse or two. Like I mentioned in January, many kinds of owl are active during the winter. Now that it's February, some owls are actually beginning to migrate, and those that do will be roosting in evergreen trees because, during the winter, those are the only trees that have foliage. So if you are a bird enthusiast and want to get a picture of an owl, check out your evergreen trees. But remember, make sure you give the owl some space and don't bother it too much. It's trying to rest and recoup. It's not easy to get through the winter. Towards the end of the month, foxes and coyotes are going to start looking for den sites to raise their future families. Foxes and coyotes will also become more active during the day than they have been all winter long. Now, I know a lot of people will see an animal that they think should only come out at night and spot it during the day and come to the conclusion that that animal is sick. And that's not always true. When a fox and a coyote and many other different animals become active during the day, they're usually trying to find food to feed that family. And trust me, they are always hungry. You know how it is. As soon as the baby is done eating, it's only a matter of maybe 10 minutes to an hour before they're hungry again. So you gotta feed them around the clock. Now, foxes and coyotes are really good for the ecosystem, gobbling up tons of rodents and even grasshoppers. I know it seems silly to think a coyote eating a grasshopper, but they do. Well, wild things, that's a small glimpse of some of the critters that are active in the month of February. I can't wait till March. All sorts of stuff happens then. So stay tuned for the next episode of Wildlife Watch with me, Ranger Bucky. Until then, stay wild!